The East Midlands Derby Day win on Saturday for Leicester City gave the Foxes fans something to smile about after two really poor performances. But it also gave the Foxes perhaps a little bit of hope as they cut the gap to the playoffs. So, on this episode of When You're Smiling, we'll look back on a memorable trip to Pride Park over the weekend that saw the Foxes stun the Rams and get back to winning ways. You'll hear from Ben Nelson after his outstanding performance, and we'll look ahead to what is a rapidly approaching clash with Bristol City coming up next for the Foxes on Wednesday night. I'm Owen Palmer-Atkin, joined on this episode by former Foxes winger Matt Piper, and it was quite the day on Saturday, Pipes. How do you look back on it now?
With the same thought process. I got to say, I did mention this on after the game to Zoe, but I probably didn't highlight it as much of a big point. Then when I got home, and because when we had Jake on last week, and he was highlighting the points of the demise recently, and then I think Thursday night you had Ian on.
We did.
Yeah, and I said to Zoe after the game that me and Ian are normally quite aligned and balanced with the way that we look at the football club. And Ian made a point on that Thursday show that I really agreed with, that people are, I think Jake said it as well, people are a little bit delusional if they think with the stats and the facts that we can see of the output this season with the players and the manager and the way that the club is going, that you'd be a little bit delusional to think that they could just turn on a performance and sort of blow a team away. But they did. That's exactly what they did in that first half. Really put it together. Really took it to Derby. And why I really enjoyed the performance, not that you've seen it with any crunching tackles or moments in the game, but it felt like collectively they stuck their chest out and thought, let's have it today. And that's what's been missing for this season, and obviously the majority of last season, where they just thought, let's have it. And there was a mentality shift, and I'd be really interested to know, I doubt the manager will ever tell us, but what that was and where it came from, because Ian was right last week. I think I've been right about the point. Jake was right. The rest of the fans were right, that you can't see a performance like that coming. So when it did, it was a bit of a shock, that first half. I was on Adi Damon's show on Thursday or Friday, saying that I'm putting the tin helmet on. It felt like I was going in the Lions' den. I was nervous. I was thinking, God, imagine if Derby really turned us over. So to get that type of performance was brilliant and really nice to see. And I've got to say it again, the travelling fans I thought they were brilliant.
When you try and search to find what Marti Cifuentes might say in that situation as to why they were able to really just turn it on and produce a performance like that, what are the things that come to mind that actually could spur that kind of thing on?
Yeah, well, there's a few clues that has happened over the last few weeks, and one would be the Jordan James interview, because he referenced that he's coming. He said, and for someone to speak that confidently after what James Maddison said them years ago, and we actually did get relegated, you think you're crazy if you think this team's going to get relegated. I look around the changing room, it's almost word for word similar to what Maddison said. That's why it scared me, because Maddison obviously got it wrong, and Jordan James could have got it wrong. But he must have been seeing something in training. Listen, we know these players are talented, but we knew the majority of these players we got were talented last season, and we still went out with a whimper out of the Premier League. So you are worried when you hear comments like that, but then you think, well, he's new to the dressing room.